What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today I'm partnering up with Mooncat to show you their Join the Dark Side collection, which I am so excited about. If you've been following my Star Wars journey, you probably know I have resisted watching Star Wars for so many years, and then I finally watched it and now I feel that it is a part of my personality. I am super in love, and Anakin is my favorite character, so a whole collection just based on Darth Vader and the dark side is so perfect to me. But before we get into the details of the collection, if you haven't heard of Mooncat before, they are a nail polish brand based in the US that is 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They are vegan, meaning they do not use any animal derived ingredients, and they're also cruelty free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So we've got this brand new collection. There's 7 polishes, most of which are magnetic polishes, including a magnetic thermal color changing polish, which I have never heard of before, and I thought that was incredible. And then we also have a set of stickers, including glow-in-the-dark stickers, as well as a little themed nail file. And of course, it all comes in this incredible limited edition box set. It comes with so many details, but I'll show you a little bit more about that at the end. So let me show you the swatches. First, I'm going to do all of the magnetics in both the cat eye style as well as the velvet style. And I'll also show you the thermal reacting to warm and cold water. And then we can get into a little bit more of pricing, availability, details on the box, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the Mooncat base coat, and I'm just going to dive right into these gorgeous magnetic shades. And let me tell you, the bottle shots that I did do not do these polishes justice, so just wait until you see them on the nail, especially magnetized. But this first shade is called Death Star, and this one is a silver magnetic polish that also has linear hollow pigment running throughout. Now, unmagnetized, I will say the hollow is a little bit more subtle. I think you can see it more in real life than you can see it on my camera, but it is still subtle because it's mixed in with that silver magnetic pigment as well. So starting off with the velvet style, basically I'm just pulling all of that lighter silver pigment to the top, and then the bottom layer is all of that darker silver with the linear hollow in it, and it is absolutely stunning. It kind of gives me a little bit of a marble vibe, and especially with the 2 different colors of silver in there, I think it makes it look a lot more noticeably dimensional, which is really cool for this type of style. I also do want to note that this one was super opaque. I feel like I could get away with wearing this as a 2-coater and then just magnetizing the second layer. But anyway, moving on to doing it in the cat eye style, this is where you can really see how much hollow is under there, because all of that silver pigment just pulled towards the center, and then I'm left with this darker silver linear hollow rainbow sparkle. I love how sharp it is. I love this multi-dimensional look. It almost looks like I have a magnetic topper over a linear hollow, and that's just so fun. Next up we have the shade Lord Vader, which actually might be my favorite in the collection, which is tough to say because there's also the magnetic thermal, but I just cannot get over this color. It's so much fun. So this one is a red polish that has a silver magnetic shimmer, and you can see kind of combined the way that it looks without the magnetization is more of this like peachy reddish kind of color, but once I start magnetizing it, it changes so much. So again, I started off with the velvet style, and you can immediately see the 2 different colors that made up this shade, and it was just so cool watching that reveal in the velvet style. I had this idea to magnetize it in a way that made it look kind of like a gradient on my nails, where all of the silver was at the cuticle area and then it kind of faded down into the red at the free edge of my nail, and I thought that was so fun. I don't think I've ever done a magnetic style polish like this, but I think it works so well for this type of polish, and then when you move your hand around it kind of changes. And then of course trying it in the cat eye style as well, and somehow I liked this way even more because it is just so stark and beautiful. I love that red base. I've been in such a red mood lately, and I think this is just gorgeous, especially with that intense white silver. So just absolutely stunning. And again, super opaque. Next up we have the shade Dawn of the Empire, and this one is a black base with a red magnetic shimmer in it. So again, going with this reddish vibe that I love, but before it's magnetized, this actually looks like a really stunning, super deep brownish kind of color with a little bit of a duochromy red to copper shimmer. And this is the type of shade that I love wearing this time of year, so I thought that was fun, but of course I had to magnetize it, which made it even more fun. So applying my third coat to magnetize and starting off with the velvet style, This is just one of those polishes that I would call a lit from within shade. You can see all of that black kind of falls to the bottom layer, and then we get this glowing ember sort of look with that duochrome magnetic shimmer where it just looks reddish, coppery, even orange at more extreme angles, and it's just absolutely stunning and glowy. And then applying it in the cat eye style basically just pulls all of that magnetic shimmer towards the center in that diagonal line, and we're left with this really intense black background, and we've got the gorgeous red stripe. So it feels very galaxy-like, it feels very dimensional. It's kind of like the evil lightsaber vibe, and another one that I totally love. Moving on, we have Scum and Villainy, and this one is actually an interesting color combination. So we've actually got this dark brown base, we have a bronze flaky running throughout, and then we have this silvery pink magnetic shimmer running throughout as well. And this is another one that I think is just fun unmagnetized. I love that sort of texture from the look that you get with the flakies plus the shimmer. I think it's just so interesting. But once I magnetized it, I was really blown away, especially in the cat eye style. But let me show you the way that it looked in the velvet style first, and you can just see that sort of pinky color coming through once I did that velvet style. It was just such an interesting color combination and definitely not what I expected, but I really ended up loving it. And I also just love that combination of flakies plus magnetic because I think they just pair so well together. They add a lot of dimension, and I think they always make polishes look a little bit more like space with like debris floating around. So here it is, trying it out in the cat eye style, which, like I said, I absolutely loved it this way. I think it looks even more cosmic like this, but I also just love the color combination. It's an interesting combination of being a very visually interesting polish with a lot of different things going on in it, but also being in this very neutral color scheme. So it's a nice contrast to me. And then we have the shade A Galaxy Far, Far Away, and this polish to me kind of encapsulates the whole vibe of Star Wars in general, which I love that they included this because it's definitely heavy on the Darth Vader elements, but this I feel like kind of focuses on that struggle between the good and evil sides of him, or just Star Wars in general, I guess. But this one is a black base, and then as you can see, there's a very intense blue magnetic shimmer running throughout, but we also have red and blue iridescent flakies. So again, I love the flakies, but I just think that combo of red and blue is such a beautiful contrast with each other. So here it is in the velvet style, and you can primarily see the blue, but the little pops of red come out this way. But once I magnetized this one in the cat eye style, I feel like that's when it truly came alive for me and just felt like the perfect Star Wars color in general, because we have that gorgeous black space kind of background, we have the red and the blue, and then what looks like honestly little galaxies or cosmos on my nail with that magnetic stripe on there. So just absolutely stunning, truly a perfect Star Wars color. So now taking a quick break from the magnetics for the one non-magnetic shade in the collection, this one is Star Destroyer, and this one is a super icy blue, almost silver jelly-like base that is absolutely packed with really intense silver flakies, as well as a subtle hollow shimmer running throughout. And I started off with 2 coats. It's a little bit sheer this way, but it doesn't look patchy. I feel like there's areas that look patchy on camera, but that's just because the silver is so reflective that it was reflecting me at certain angles. But I also popped on a 3rd coat just to see what it looked like in full coverage, and you can definitely see my face in the cuticle area of my nails there. But this one is just such a cool texture. It does dry smooth to the finish, but I feel like having all of those flakies packed in there makes it look textured on the nails, which is so cool. It feels very futuristic. It feels like some sort of material for a spaceship, or honestly, I feel like Padme would rock this, especially as Queen Amidala, but absolutely stunning color. And then last but certainly not least, we have the shade Imperial Stormtrooper, which I would argue is the most exciting of the collection because not only is this one a magnetic polish, but it is also a thermal color changing polish, meaning that depending on if you're hot or cold, it is going to change, and you don't need long nails for this. Mooncat polishes especially are so reactive to the temperature shift that even with my short nail length, I always find them shifting, and I feel like some nails stay cold, some nails stay warm, and then throughout the day they're just changing back and forth. But the color of this one, once it's magnetized, is actually a black to light gray thermal. It looks more like a dark gray once you have the unmagnetized pigment in there, but when you magnetize it in the cat eye style, you can see all of that silvery white pigment in the center. In its cold state, it's this gorgeous deep black color, and then in its warm state, it's actually this beautiful light gray. So you can see I was very cold when I was swatching these because it has gotten very cold out. So it kept on shifting back really fast to the cold state, but I was just so impressed with this. I love the way that it looked as it was shifting back, where the top half of my nail was in the cold state and the bottom half underneath the magnet was in its warm state, and it just looked so unlike any polish I've ever seen. I thought this was incredible. I love the dimension of it, and honestly, I'm just so impressed that even though it's this monochromatic color, this black to gray with the silver in there, it is just so interesting to look at. I feel like I would never get sick of wearing this. So I didn't show myself magnetizing this one in the velvet style because my water was getting cold very quickly and it was very cold in my house. So I just magnetized that quickly off camera, but I wanted to show you how the color shift worked in the velvet style as well. And I feel like it's still pretty noticeable. Like you can see how much lighter and darker it is. And this is just at one angle. So as your nail is moving around in the velvet style, you're going to see deeper or lighter colors just based on that angle and the dimensionality of it. And here are all the colors together. And I have to say, I feel like I say this in every single Mooncat collab video, but this one is my favorite collab that Mooncat has done. Every single time they do a collab, I'm like, this is better than their last collabs, even though I loved those last collabs. But this one is truly the best in my opinion. I think that the colors are absolutely unreal stunning. I love the inspiration. I am such a huge Star Wars fan, and I just think that they did such a perfect job making colors inspired by the story of Star Wars and of Darth Vader specifically. And I just think it's phenomenal. And I feel like the colors are so deceptive. Like in the bottle, I feel like you can't even tell how intense and wild they're going to be on the nail. So I just loved the surprise of magnetizing them. I loved the magnetic thermal. I think that's such a cool concept. And I just think in general, they really outdid themselves with this one, especially with all the details of the packaging and stuff, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, every part of this was a win to me. So let's talk about it a little bit more. I'll show you the packaging and then I'll also show you the stickers. So that is the collection. And I have to say, overall, I am just stunned. Regarding the polishes specifically, the formulas are just amazing. Everything is so opaque. I love the depth of them. I love the magnetic color choices. And I think it just encapsulates the vibe of the dark side absolutely perfectly. And I just really appreciate the combination of magnetic with other finishes like the magnetic holo, the magnetic thermal, which is absolutely incredible. And even unmagnetized, I thought these colors were really beautiful. I feel like even if you're not a Star Wars fan, they're dark, they're a little mysterious, and they also feel like really good wintry sort of vibes, especially that sort of January feel where everything's a little bit moodier and grayer. Now, like I said, they also have this sticker set and there's a bunch of different designs on here. We've got Darth Vader, we've got the Star Wars logo, the Stormtroopers, stars and moons and TIE fighters and all sorts of stuff. And it comes in metallic silver and red stickers as well as glow in the dark stickers, which is super fun. But yeah, I also want to talk a little bit more about this box because I think all of the details are just so incredible. The box itself is just such a statement. I love it. But all like the little metallic details of everything, plus the designs and the art inside of the boxes is just absolutely perfect. I think that's something that Mooncat really excels at, especially with their collabs. They always put so much love and effort into all the little details, and you can appreciate them just for their beauty, but if you're a big fan, you can also see all the little design choices and just love them even more because of that. But now let's get into pricing and availability. All of these polishes are available now. They come in 12 milliliter bottles. They do have a wide flat brush that has a rounded tip, so application super easy. The bottles are the same size and design as usual, but they do have a little special edition logo on the front, so it's actually a Darth Vader picture on the front. And the price does vary based on the finish. So the non-magnetic Star Destroyer, that retails for $15 USD, and then all of the magnetics retail for $16 USD each. And by the way, whenever you order a magnetic polish from Mooncat, they do include a free magnetic wand with your order. But yeah, we also have the full box set that's limited edition, and that comes with the 7 polishes, the 2 sticker sheets, the magnetic wand, and the glass nail file, and this retails for $131 USD. And you can also get the nail file and the stickers individually individually. The nail file is retailing for $8 USD and the stickers are retailing for $12 USD. So I'm gonna link everything down in the description. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on this collection. What do you think of the polishes? What do you think of these finishes, especially the magnetic thermal? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please hit that like button. It really helps me out. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. I love you all, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Let's look for an evil would you rather question, because I'm trying to channel my evil Anakin vibes right now. Oh, this is an interesting one. Would you rather never get angry or never be envious? I mean, obviously, I think the best option would be neither, but that's not a choice in would you rather questions. So here's my thought process. I would rather never be angry because I think that to an extent, envy can sometimes be helpful. I mean, I try not to be an envious person, but I do think that it can be a motivator. For example, if I saw somebody who was really strong or really fast at running or something like that, and I was envious of them, then I would be like, this is good motivation because I would like to get to that point. But I do think that it can also be very destructive. But I feel like you could also say the same about anger, because if you're passionate about something, which sometimes feels a little angry, then you can be like, I'll use that as motivation. But I think that when I'm angry, I am such an emotional person that I react very emotionally and I don't think of logic. Whereas with envy, I think I can channel that a little bit better into something more productive. So yeah, I think I would rather never be angry and just focus on my envy and making it into a good version of envy. Let me know your answer to the would you rather question in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.